This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we're going to be replacing the radio control on the PRIUS Generation 3. On mine it's just kind of worn out. The markings are all gone. So we're got this one off eBay. It's a used one for about 50 bucks. We'll be going over the procedure on how to put this one in. Should just take a few minutes. So we're just pulling off the cover here. Pull that off to the side. We have to unlock these guys. These are actually already unlocked, just twisting them, just two. And then we can grab this, pull this up, just folds over. Then you can just lift it out, take it out of the car. And then we have another tray here that we're just going to lift out also. So the stuff's pretty modular. Just take a second. Scott the Fix-It Guy here. We have gotten rid of all the paneling so that we can do the installation of the radio control for the steering wheel. But first, we've got to take the power out of the system so we don't accidentally activate the airbag. So we have to just remove this ground, and we're going to use a 10mm wrench to do that. You can use a open-end. Socket doesn't quite fit back there, so open-end wrench will be the best. We just got to get the negative side off, and that way that airbag can't accidentally fire. Okay, so first thing we got to do is get off this panel right here, and I usually use like a little hook tool so I can get in underneath. So we've got the hook tool pressed in there between the two, and we're just going to turn it and then pull, and that little segment. Here we are on the other side of the steering wheel. We got to get the same kind of low panel off. It's surrounding the cruise control. So same idea, we just got to get thing behind there. We can pull and then let's go. Get this thing off. And that's going to allow us to get to that same little spring piece right there. So now we're going to get this thing loose by pushing in with a standard head screwdriver, and we're going to be pushing in on this thing right here. There's one on each side. So just going to push in. So here we are on the other side, and we see that same kind of clip there. Push in on that one. And now this thing should come loose. It looks like it's loose on the left side. Let's see if we can get it loose on the right side. So we got those two clips to loosen up, and now this whole thing comes out. Lift it a little bit and pull it out. There we go. That's the airbag. And where we want to go today is to get this thing off, right? So we have to unloosen a Phillips head screw right there. There's also a Phillips head screw down there, and we can get that thing off. So we'll do that next. One at the top, one at the bottom. So we're going to unloosen the top one. Comes right out. And the bottom one. There. Gotta be a little careful with the airbag here that we're not going to put too much stress on the wires. So we should support it while we undo the bottom one. So now we've got those screws off, the one at the top and the one at the bottom. grab this thing, wiggle it off, and then we got to disconnect it from its wiring harness. So it's just being held in by a little clip down here, this wire. So I'm just going to push that down to get it loose from that. And yeah, now I got some maneuverability room, and I can get behind it, and I can disconnect this white modular connection. It's going to be easy. So I've got a little zip tie connector here. I got to get that off. I'm going to use some diagonal pliers, snip that off. Okay. So we just snipped off that one, and now the wire is a little more freed up, so I can get that modular connector to unclip. So I used a small standard head screwdriver to press down on this tab, and then I kind of wiggle it out from the side. So this guy's ready to come out now. Okay, so that's loose, and now this guy's almost ready to come out. Looks like they're still connected. There we go, I got that out. And what I'm going to be doing today is removing these little Phillips head screws on the back. I'm going to be replacing this central black plastic piece, but the silver piece on this one's in good shape, and the new one, or the used one I got, isn't as good, so I'm going to be just replacing this black rubber and black plastic assembly all as one, but the silver cowling, I'll keep this original one because it's in good shape. So this is the one that was in my car that's pretty messed up, dirty, all worn out. Here's the used one, but the cowling on this used one is kind of banged up right here. So I'm going to use the old cowling, and that just means I've got to remove these Phillips head screws on the back on both of them. Just use a small Phillips head screwdriver. Okay, I have all the Phillips head screws out, so now I'll just pull off this plastic piece, and then to get to that rubber piece and remove it, still got a few Phillips head screws that I'll take out. So I just removed the ones on the perimeter, but not on the circuit board. Now I can just lift off this old icky one and replace it with the one from eBay. Or I'll actually probably just put the rubber piece on that just fell off. Okay, just got these little Phillips head screws put back in, switches in position. Now I'm going to put the black plastic support pieces, clip them back in, and put the screws back in. Okay, so we have our new faceplate put back in. We got our modular connection in the back in, and we just have to feed this wire cable back through this thing. It's like a little guide. Puts that in, and then we'll put it back in place. So I just fed that cable back up underneath that black support, pushed it up underneath. Now I'll just push this whole thing back into place. Okay, I just pushed this back in at the top, and at the bottom it just clicked back in, no problem. I'll put those two support screws back in, one at the top, one at the bottom. Almost done. Okay, you got the bottom screw in, put the top one in. Nice and tight. And if you ever want to take off the steering wheel, just got that little bolt right there. And now we'll just put our airbag back into position. You just push it back in. It should just lock in on those clips. So just push that back in next. Those just clip back in, no problem, with a little forward pressure. Now we got that new button. Looks pretty good, pretty much like it does when you buy the car. And we're going to put those little side plates back in. Okay, I'm just going to clip in that last panel. Goes here. There we go. So we got a good looking steering wheel again that works great. We just got to connect the negative battery connection and the job is done. Thanks so much for watching.